Gunatitanand Swami, mystic of all mystics, the Siddh of all Siddhas, the yogi of all yogis. Akshabrahman Gunatitanand Swami incarnated as Mulji Sharma on Asosad Purnima, Samvat 1841, 1784 CE. His parents Bholanath and Sakarba received blessings from Guru Atmanand Swami, prophesying, Bhagwan Purushottam will incarnate at Dharmadev's house in Sarvardesh, near Ayodhya, and 4 years later, his abode will incarnate at your place. Bholanath's village was Bhadra near the river And, not far from the port of Jodia, in northwest Saurashtra. Upon examining the child's astrological signs, Bholanath's astrologer revealed that he will be an eloquent speaker and spread Bhagavad Dharma. During childhood, Mulji often spoke to Sakarba about Bhagwan Purushottam's divine Leela in Chapia, the village where Ghanshyam, Bhagwan Swaminarayan, incarnated. He could observe this from Bhadra. Once he requested Sakarba to sing bhajans about the Yagnopavit Sanskar, the sacred thread ritual, since Ghanshyam was being invested with the Janoi on that day in Ayodhya. When Mulji was given Janoi, the Guru Pandit advised him, as is customary, to go to Kashi to study. When Mulji refused, the Pandit asked him the reason. Mulji replied, Purushottam Narayan, at whose lotus feet reside innumerable Kashis, will arrive here. Hence, what is the need for going to Kashi? When Ghanshyam renounced home, embarking on his 7-year forest sojourns as Nilkant, Mulji related this to Sakarba. During the next 7 years he often described Nilkant's travels. This always amazed Sakarba, reminding her of Atmanand Swami's prophecy about Bhagwan's abode incarnating as her son. To his little brother Sundarji, Mulji often divulged, I am going to become a sadhu and will also make you a sadhu. Mulji Sharma first had Bhagwan Swaminarayan's physical darshan on Kartik Sad 11 Ekadashi, Samvat 1857, 1801 CE, when he was given Bhagwati Diksha by Swami Ramanand in Piplana. On this occasion, when the two first met, Bhagwan Swaminarayan revealed, this Mulji Bhakta is in constant rapport with me and in the future will extol my glory. He is my very abode, Akshardham. 2 years later, when Bhagwan Swaminarayan visited Bhadra, he revealed to Bholanath, Mulji is constantly in my service, but you can't see that. He is my disciple since time immemorial. He has realized my form in all 3 states, physical, subtle and causal. He is Anadi Mool Akshar, the eternal Akshabrahman. In Samvat 1866, 20 January 1810 CE, Bhagwan Swaminarayan held a grand ging in Dubhan near Kheda, specially to initiate Mulji as a sadhu. During this ritual he revealed to the devotees, I am extremely delighted to initiate Mulji Sharma, who is my Akshardham incarnate, in whom I dwell along with numerous muktas, and who is limitless and is my Akshardham. Harilila Kalpataru 7-17-49. 50. He named him Gunatitanand Swami. On many occasions during his life, Bhagwan Swaminarayan revealed Gunatitanand Swami's glory to his Paramhansas and devotees. One such occasion was during the festival of Fudol in Saringpur. While playing Ras and singing Kabir's verse, not the first Kabir, but a later one, Bhagwan Swaminarayan stopped at the following stanza and asked 2 of his Paramhansas, Muktanand Swami and Anandanand, about the identity of such a Sadguru. Millions of Krishnas join their palms. Millions of Vishnus bow their heads. Millions of Shivs meditate. Millions of Brahmas deliver knowledge. And Sadguru celebrates the festival of spring. The 2 Paramhansas replied, You are that Sadguru. Who else could it be? Bhagwan Swaminarayan then pointed his stick at Gunatitanand Swami and revealed that Sadguru is this Gunatitanand Swami and I am the Supreme Purushottam Narayan. The composer of this holy pada, Kabir, worshipped and addressed Akshabrahman as Sadguru Sahib. During his lifetime, Bhagwan Swaminarayan built 6 Vedic stone mandirs in Gujarat. In each he appointed stalwart Paramhansas as Mahants, heads, from his retinue of over 3,000 ascetics. However, a question arose among the senior Paramhansas about whom to appoint in Junagadh. Brahmanand Swami, a poet and senior Paramahansa, cautioned him that conditions in Junagadh were very precarious and formidable, for it was a Muslim state managed by the Nawab, whose minions were Nagar Brahmins. The latter were absolutely averse to the Swaminarayan Sampradaya and would pose great obstacles to the Mandir's activities. However, Bhagwan Swaminarayan confidently replied that he would appoint just such a formidable sadhu, Gunatitanand Swami. After Nawab Hamid Khan honored and welcomed Bhagwan Swaminarayan in his palace, he requested him to leave behind somebody like him in Junagadh. On that occasion, he replied, "Hum jaisa rakhenge, I will leave somebody like me," and pointed to Gunatitanand Swami. Akshabrahman incarnate. Since antiquity, Mount Girnar has been the abode of ascetics and yogis performing austerities. During Swami's period, an ascetic performing tapas to please Dattatreya had the deity's darshan. The ascetic requested for the bliss of Akshabrahman by uttering the shlok lauding Akshar in the Gita 8:11. Those great sages who have renounced the bondage of sansar enter what the Vedas proclaim as Akshabrahman. To attain this Akshar, aspirants strive and observe Brahmacharya. To the ascetic, Dattatreya revealed, "The bliss of Akshar that you wish is today manifesting as Akshabrahman incarnate in Junagadh. Thousands of aspirants are flocking from afar for his darshan. Go to him for this bliss." The ascetic then assumed the form of a lion. One day when Swami was meditating on the edge of the jungle outside the city with some sadhus, a lion suddenly emerged from the jungle and sat a few feet in front of Swami. Sadhus bathing nearby shouted to warn Swami. Swami opened his eyes and looked at the lion. In turn, the lion then bowed several times with tears in his eyes. Then he turned towards the jungle. Continuing to glance back a few times at Swami, he disappeared into the dense vegetation. The sadhus then rushed to Swami and inquired about the lion. Swami revealed the above story. Then he added, "The ascetic will now leave his body and take birth in the satsang. After deeply associating with the Satpurush, he will attain Akshardham." Dev 20 OOI 239-40. Another similar case was of Naranji, a Brahmin who worshipped Shivji. To earn his grace, he retreated to the Ramnath Mahadev shrine in the recesses of Girnar, near Bilkha. Here he fasted for 3 continuous days, chanting Namah Shivaya. On the morning of the 4th day, Shivji graced him with his darshan. The deity instructed him, "If you wish to attain Bhagwan manifest, Pragat, go to Junagadh. There is a Swaminarayan Mandir there. Go and meet its Mahant Gunatitanand Swami. He will grace you with Bhagwan's darshan." Naranji rushed to Junagadh. After inquiring in the Swaminarayan Mandir, he bowed to Swami. Without uttering a word, Swami took him up to the Mandir. Indicating Bhagwan Swaminarayan's Murti, he divulged, "This is Sajanand Swami, the Bhagwan that Ramnath Mahadev told you about, and I am Gunatitanand Swami." Swami's antaryami revelation of his past elated Naranji, to the extent that he decided to spend the rest of his life offering bhakti by accepting Swami as Guru. Swami's Katha. Though he was an eternal Siddh, realized, Swami once asked Bhagwan Swaminarayan about which of the 4 forms of sadhana he should focus on: to imbibe Atmanishtha, to meditate, to serve the ill, or do katha, deliver spiritual discourses. Bhagwan Swaminarayan replied that he should do katha. He reasoned that by katha, both he and the recipient would benefit spiritually. Thereafter, Swami placed greater emphasis on katha. Wherever he went, he delivered dynamic spiritual discourses, lauding Bhagwan Swaminarayan's glory as Purushottam Narayan. Moreover, his talks effectively castigated the mundane Panch Vishays, pursuits of the 5 senses: speech, touch, sight, taste and smell. His talks were noted by several Grihast devotees and sadhus who accompanied him. These were compiled and published in the late 19th century as Swamini Vato. In the Swaminarayan Sampradaya, this text is considered as a commentary on the Vachanamrit of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. It contains the essence of the principles of sadhana, ekantik dharma and the glory of Bhagwan Swaminarayan. In his own words, Swami revealed that he had imparted Brahmavidya to over 200 aspirants and nurtured the satsang tenets to devotees numbering thousands. His foremost disciple to whom he taught Brahmavidya and graced realization of Bhagwan Swaminarayan was Pragji Bhagat, a Grihast tailor by Varna. This was often spitted upon and severely castigated by senior contemporary sadhus in the Sampradaya. However, Swami remained undaunted, stita pragna, in the words of the Gita 255. The societal shackles of Varna did not play a role in Swami's choice of a spiritual successor. In 1867, at the age of 82, he returned to Akshardham. Prior to that, he covertly revealed to followers that he would now live in Mava. This meant that Bhagwan would now manifest through Pragji Bhagat of Mava. Thus, Bhagwan Swaminarayan's manifestation on earth continued through his spiritual successors. Today HDH Pramukh Swami Maharaj is Akshabrahman manifest, the 5th spiritual successor of Bhagwan Swaminarayan and the head of BAPS Swaminarayan Sanstha. At 12:45 am on Asosad 13, Samvat 1923, Bhagwan Swaminarayan appeared in divine form in front of Swami, who then circumambulated him for some time. Then he sat in a lotus posture and returned to Akshardham. His body was cremated on the banks of the river Gondli, in Gondal, Saurashtra. A year later, in 1868, Maharaja Sangram Singh Ji of Gondal state had a small shrine, named Akshardari, built on the spot. Since then, devotees began to celebrate the Sharad Poonam and Annakut festivals here. They witnessed and experienced many miracles and divine visions.